Welcome to the first in a series of tapes on diamond setting. This tape introduces the art of graver finishing. Without proper tools, a diamond can never be set properly, so we will explore the process of creating those tools. This tape is only meant as a guide to graver finishing. Some background knowledge of diamond setting and the proper use of the associated tools is assumed. All safety precautions must be followed to ensure a safe diamond setting experience. The first step in graver finishing is having the proper tools. The following tools are recommended: a number 1 and number 2 onglet graver, a number 39 and number 40 flat HS graver, an assortment of round and mushroom-shaped wooden handles, a bench grinder, a pair of pliers, a number 1 and number 2 emery paper, a number 2.0 and number 4.0 polishing paper, an Arkansas oil stone, a beaker of water, a graphite pencil, and a jeweler's torch or Bunsen burner. To start off, we focus on shortening the tang. When shortening the tang, the following tools are required: a jeweler's torch or a Bunsen burner, a bench grinder, safety glasses, and a graver blade of your choice. Please bear in mind that safety glasses must be worn throughout the entire process of graver shaping. This is to protect your eyes from any flying steel particles. Firmly gripping the tang with both hands, we apply the blade up against the grinding wheel. The purpose here is to shape the remaining tang into a spear shape. Water is used as a coolant to prevent injuries to the finger due to an overheated blade. Here we have a during and after shot of the spear being formed. The tang in the upper graver approximates the length of the spear to be created. During this process, the tang will turn blue due to a softening of the high-speed steel. This is normal and should not be a cause for concern. A wide and thick graver spear point will not comfortably fit into a wooden handle. That is why the spear must be made thin and narrow. The length of the spear should not exceed 1 inch from the rear of the blade. Throughout the grinding process, check the shape of the blade to ensure it maintains its proper form. If any errors are noticed, this is the time to correct them. Handle preparation is a short but essential step. Doing this correctly will ensure that the graver will not slip out of its handle. The following tools are required for the proper insertion of gravers into their wooden handles: pliers, safety glasses, a graver blade, the wooden handle, and a beaker of cold water. Heat the spear point until it is red hot. Holding the graver firmly with pliers, insert the spear point into the handle so that the graver is at a 90-degree angle to the wooden handle, all the while maintaining a consistent force. This step applies to all types of wooden handles and gravers. After the graver has been inserted into the handle, dip the semi-finished graver into the water to solidify the handle's grip on the graver. Do not hold the hot graver with tweezers, as the tweezers cannot grip the graver with sufficient force. Rather, pliers should be used. To properly shape the graver, the following tools are required: a graver, safety glasses, a bench grinder, and a beaker of water. While shaping the graver blade, make sure that the blade is maintained at a 90-degree angle to the handle. Starting at the midpoint of the front of the graver, grind back until the overall length of the front of the blade does not exceed 1 inch in length. At this point in time, do not attempt to grind the front of the blade too thin. Doing so will compromise the integrity of the steel. Periodically check for equal thickness of both sides of the graver. The graver should be dipped in water at a ratio of 2 to 1. This means that for every 2 applications of the grinding wheel, the blade must be dipped into the beaker of water. Grind the face of the blade. This will allow full notice of the angles being addressed. Scallop the blade sides with a soft, textured bench grinding wheel at all times. Always check for any misguided shaping of the blade. Do not overheat any part of the graver blade or it will lose its hardness. Overwet the blade as you are fine-tuning the final shaping. Recheck at all times the same thickness of the blade on either side being shaped. Using a softer grinding wheel or a higher grit grinding wheel, smooth out all the rough edges on the blade. The final step is to polish off the marks created during the previous steps. The following tools are required for this: safety glasses, the finished graver, an Arkansas oil stone, machine or mineral oil, a graphite pencil, and pre-selected types of polishing in the emery papers. With firm strokes, run emery paper against the sides of the graver. A rocking action of the graver blade should be used to maintain the barrel-shaped design of the graver. Check the blade for any marks left by the grinding process. Start the sanding with a coarse grain of emery paper, namely a number 2, and when needed, switch to a number 1 grade of emery paper. At a 45-degree angle, consistently draw the front of the graver on an Arkansas oil stone. Each stroke should consist of a cut of 3/4 of the length of the oil stone. Check to ensure that the grinding wheel process has sufficiently carved and sculptured the graver point. Using the 2O, which has a finer grit than the emery paper, will further improve the luster of the steel. The 4O will greatly enhance the final result of the polished steel. By applying the graver to the graphite pencil rubbing, ensures that the markings will be totally removed. Some common mistakes to look out for are overheating the blade tip during grinding, thinning, or extending the graver tip excessively. Bear in mind the overall length of the graver and the handle cannot exceed the length of the middle finger. Furthermore, you should look out for the insufficient removal of marks off of the gravers. The blade tip should be maintained at a 45-degree angle at all times, and the graver should be at a 90-degree angle to the handle. Thank you for taking the time to view GEM's diamond settings first in a series of tapes on diamond setting. Please note that a portion of all proceeds will be donated for the advancement of research for the Crohn's and colitis disease. For more information on diamond setting, please visit us at www.gemsdiamondsetting.com. To book seminars, please contact us at 1-877-850-0003. The next tape in the series will be the Solitaire Round and Fancy Cut Engagement Stone series. We hope to see you then.